All right. Welcome back. Welcome in. Found us once again. Shoot the Gap, the Rabbit Hole Fantasy Football Focus Show. Here to help you to be gruntled with your fantasy football team and your fantasy football decisions. I hope you're having a great day. And on today, this is our first Saturday sleeper show. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you two sleepers from each, the QB spot, running back spot, wide receiver spot, and tight end spot to help you as you navigate the buys and injuries for week 6. So let's go ahead and let's get started. On the quarterback. All right, the first one I'm going to bring up, Daniel Jones. Yeah, Daniel Jones. Now, I know what you're thinking, but check this out. Jones has scored at least 18 fantasy points in 3 of the past 4 weeks, and he posted a season-high 22 fantasy points without Malik Nabers in week 5. He gets a juicy matchup against the Bengals in week 6. Now, he faces the Bengals defense this weekend, right, which has allowed the 3rd most passing yards per game and the 5th most fantasy points per game to the quarterback position this season. Yeah, so in 2 of his previous 3 games, Daniel Jones has recorded more than 200 passing yards, multiple touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Nice sleeper. All right, my second sleeper at quarterback spot, Caleb Williams. Yeah, since week 4, among 30 qualifying quarterbacks, Williams has ranked 2nd in yards per attempt, 14th in completion percentage over expectation, 18th in passing yards per game, and 17th in highly accurate throw rate. Yeah, so not amazing, but also an improvement over what we saw in his first 3 games. Now, Jacksonville has been a bottom-of-the-barrel pass defense all season, and just a fantastic fantasy point injection for quarterbacks. So they have allowed the 2nd most passing yards per game, the 5th highest yards per attempt, and the 7th highest completion percentage over expectation, and the most fantasy points via passing this season. So yeah, that was Caleb Williams. Yeah, Caleb Williams. Looks like he's getting it together. Nice sleeper. All right, moving on to running back. Antonio Gibson, yes. Gibson will see a much larger role in week 6 as Stevenson has been declared out. Yeah, the Patriots will face the Texans, who have a decent run defense, but allowed James Cook, Tank Bigsby, and Aaron Jones to each record more than 80 rushing yards against them over the past 3 weeks. New England should be leaning on the running game and utilizing short dump-off passes heavily this Sunday, as the team is giving rookie quarterback Drake May his first NFL start against Houston's stingy secondary. So I've always said that a rookie quarterback's best friend is a pass-catching running back, and that's what Antonio Gibson is. This looks like it's lining up well for him. My second one, this one's kind of a sleeper, but let me explain. Okay, I mean, it's on the line, but hey, let's go with it. Bucky Irving. Yeah, Bucky Irving. I know you're thinking, we all know about that. Yeah, but we have all been worried about his ability to actually handle the ball, considering his fumble and everything like that. So, but this week he'll operate as the Bucs lead back for week 6 with Rachaad White declared out. Over the last 2 weeks, he has played 42 to 43% of the snaps, while averaging 11 touches and 55.5 total yards. He has been extremely efficient with his touches, ranked 7th in explosive run rate, 6th in missed tackles forced per attempt, and 13th in yards after contact per attempt. New Orleans continues to be a tough run defense, allowing the 7th lowest run rate, the 7th fewest rushing yards per game, and the 2nd lowest yards after contact per attempt. So, this is why I'm saying I want to talk about Bucky Irving being a sleeper. Not just because you're like, oh, it's obvious because of Rachaad White being out. Well, you look at the defense, might discourage you, but this is why you should be encouraged. So he looks to be actually a volume-based running back too. Okay, and with the Saints unexpectedly starting a rookie quarterback, the Bucs could dominate the time of possession, which means a lot of runs, which means Bucky time. Yeah, so he's a great sleeper. Let's go to wide receiver. Jalen Tolbert. Yeah, let's talk about Jalen Tolbert. Yeah, Brandon Cooks is on reserve, which led to a lot more playing time for Tolbert last week. And man, did he not disappoint. Tolbert led the Cowboys with 10 targets, caught a career-high 7 passes for 87 yards, and the game-winning touchdown in Week 5 at Pittsburgh. This week, the Cowboys will face the Lions, who have allowed the most receiving yards per game and the second most fantasy points per game to wide receivers this season. The Lions' defense is awesome versus the run and not so awesome versus the pass, which means more of a pass-heavy attack for the Cowboys. Tolbert is looking to be a great sleeper. The second one on the wide receiver sleeper list, Darius Slayton. Yeah, Darius Slayton. Yeah, Malik Neighbors has been ruled out for this week. With Neighbors on the sideline last week in Week 5 against the Seahawks, Slayton stepped up and led the Giants with 11 targets for 8 receptions, 122 yards, and a touchdown. He finished as the fantasy wide receiver 7 on the week. This week, the Giants will face the Bengals secondary, which allowed Zay Flowers, Deontay Johnson, Xavier Legette, Terry McLaurin, and Rashee Rice to each put up at least 18 fantasy points against them over the past 4 weeks. Tolbert's, yeah, dude, or Slayton's a great sleeper. All right, tight end. Let's talk about tight ends. So let's talk about some tight end sleepers. I know you might be looking out there. Dalton Schultz, my first one. Dalton Schultz, yes. Schultz is the tight end 25 in fantasy points per game with an 11.6% target share, a .77 yard per route run, and an 11.5 first read share. He has had only two red zone targets this season. Plain and simple, why is he a sleeper? Well, New England has allowed the 3rd highest yards per reception and the 7th most receiving yards to tight ends. And of course, you add in that Nico Collins is not there. That means that's going to be more, the pie is getting a little bit bigger. Okay, it's for the passing. So Dalton Schultz, fantastic sleeper this week. Last one, Theo Johnson of the Giants. You're like, who? Yeah, let me talk to you about it. Of course, this is all about Malik Neighbors being out this weekend, or this week. Yeah, so you can probably say that this actual sleeper show is a giant sleeper show. Anyway, Johnson is very athletic for his size. He ran a 4.57 second 40-yard dash and recorded a near 40-inch vertical jump at 6'6" and 259 pounds at the 2024 NFL Combine. Not only does he have great size and speed, but he's also a solid route runner with reliable hands. The Giants have been getting Johnson more involved in the offense as the season progresses, and he has run the 8th most routes run among tight ends in the NFL this season. He turned his routes into a career-high 5 receptions for 48 receiving yards in Week 5. Johnson looks to be a nice sleeper in the weakest position in fantasy football. All right, so that does it for the Saturday Sleeper Show. If you enjoyed this content, please make sure and hit the like button and hit the subscribe button to let us know that you're out there loving the show. Make sure also to click that bell. That way you'll get a notice when we release a new episode. Plus, like you're seeing, we're providing a lot more shorter, more digestible content, so it's pretty quick, nice and easy. All right, that does it. And want to make sure and thank everybody for watching. And remember, everyone, in fantasy football as in life, don't dream it, be it. All right, thank you guys so much. Good luck this week. Bye.